Hello, friends. Welcome back to A Game in No Halves. I'm Miles. To my left is Bob. Hello, Bob.
I'm Bob.
Bob is my dad. And he is the creator of North London FC, the world's most successful football team that doesn't actually exist. And this is a podcast where we go into the lifetime of statistics and things that you've got around North London, Bob.
Yes, it does exist, actually. It really
exist.
does. Look, evidence
I know, Bob.
of its existence.
Yeah, you can hear it. Bob's holding up the European statistics.
Yes.
What he's basically done is created a Football Manager game, but actually in real life, and you type out everything on a computer yourself.
I do. Very time-consuming, but very, very, very therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And so every episode, we've been going through season by season the results of North London. We left us last time at the end of the 08-09 season where North London had just won the Champions League, Bob, in a 4-2 final victory over Man United.
Absolutely.
Fantastic stuff.
Yes, and we had a double because we won the FA Cup as well.
Yes, but
so
just
quite a
the
successful
Premier League title, wasn't it?
In the last match of the season.
Yeah, there we go.
But,
so today, obviously, we're on to 2009, 2010, which is very exciting. Before we get to that, though, what's been going on with you then, old Padre?
Well, this. I'm holding up a programme for the songs the Beatles gave away. And this is the speaking tour I'm doing with my friend Colin Hall. He's one of the great Beatle experts of the world. And
Indeed.
Yes, he is. There were nearly 30 songs that one or other member of the Beatles had a hand in writing, but which the group itself never recorded. So we are exploring the stories of those songs. I made a documentary years ago.
Were any of them terrible, would you say?
Say again?
Were any of them really bad?
Well, one or two. Well, actually, there was.
There's a reason they gave them away, I guess. That's probably
no. So the thing about it in the early days, they were so.
Well, no, I mean, obviously they were writing for other people and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah.
But there must have been some songs where Paul or
Tip
John
of My Tongue
or George
by
had written,
Tommy
they were
Quickly.
like, I don't like this enough for us to record it.
Tip
but
of
somebody
My
else
Tongue,
know it.
by Tommy Quickly was one. There were a few, but and there was a single that was given to a group called The Strangers, whose lead singer was Mike Shannon.
Okay.
But I said to the band made a couple of records and then disappeared without trace. So they weren't successful at all and the song wasn't very good. But I say to Colin on stage, but it's okay. Because Mike Shannon then went on to have a really amazing career as a prolific striker for Southampton Town.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, Mike Shannon also apparently was an American professional baseball player.
Well, there we are.
So
then.
he's had quite the life.
He's had quite the life. Hopping. Yeah, I suppose he'd hop to America, wouldn't he, of course, to play the baseball game and then get back.
Bob. It's Mike Channon that played for Southampton.
What?
Mike Channon, not Mike Shannon. Or is that not how you pronounce it?
That's how you pronounce it.
Oh, right, fine. Okay, fine. Sorry.
Yeah.
He played 391 games and scored 157 goals.
Exactly.
Mike.
He would have made a good quiz question, wouldn't he, for us?
Yeah, although pre-Premier League era, so there wouldn't be statistics that keep up to date with him, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yes.
Michael Roger, so it's pronounced Shannon, is it?
Mike Shannon, yeah.
He scored over 250 goals in his career.
Yeah.
He also later became a successful racehorse trainer.
Indeed, this is what I say on stage.
What an unbelievable life this guy's lived.
Football, baseball, international caps and horse training.
Wow, well, there you go. Mike Shannon. There it is.
What a boy.
722 appearances across his career.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there
so
you
see, the fact that he didn't do that well with the Beatles song, he made up for it later.
Talent, so
yes, exactly. Yeah. So we tell the stories of the songs. We're now just over 40 gigs into the tour altogether.
Yeah.
And we're selling out now, which is amazing. And we're having some of the most amazing experiences. We went to Braemar.
Yep.
Now, I didn't know before
Scotland.
we got there that Braemar is literally and officially the coldest place on mainland Britain.
Okay.
And when we got there, bearing in mind that today...
Was it cold?
It's sunny and warm and beautiful.
It is nice today.
As we were climbing up into the mountains and got closer and closer to Braemar, so we found ourselves literally in the clouds, started snowing.
Wow. And this would be, the end of April?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we got to Braemar, it was literally snowing. It was 2 degrees and spring hasn't even really started there yet.
Crazy.
Some of the daffodils are just coming out. That's how far behind it is.
Oh.
And we were in a church doing a gig in a church, packed, admittedly, but, churches aren't warm.
I was going to say, churches are renowned for being nice, warm, toasty environments, are they?
Colin and I had heaters round us on the stage, and when I came off stage, I was wrapped in a blanket.
Seriously?
Yes. It was so cold.
God.
But it was great.
How to tell that two men in their 70s are on tour?
No,
you walk off stage with a blanket around you.
No, that's not. No, that's harsh.
Okay.
I think anybody would. You would have wanted a blanket.
Yeah.
No, but you.
Although I thrive in the cold. It's my Scandinavian blood, my Viking blood, I guess.
Have you got Viking blood? I didn't know this.
Well, just because I'm.
As your father, I don't know about your Viking blood.
Well, I just assume I have because I'm a big guy with a ginger beard. I mean, surely there's got to be Viking in there somewhere, right? That's how it all got brought over to the UK, I think, in the end.
Well, I had,
or it could be Scottish blood. To be fair, maybe I'd be thriving
somewhere,
in Braemar.
Yeah,
down the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
We visited Robert Louis Stevenson's house.
Oh,
because
cool.
he wrote Treasure Island in Braemar.
There you go.
There we go.
Wow.
And Colin sat at the desk that's in the spot.
Oh, I bet you love that.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Colin,
he's a writer himself.
Used to be custodian at John Lennon's home, Mendips, in Liverpool, where John Lennon grew up as a child in the 50s. So to go into the house of a writer that Colin absolutely, Treasure Island is one of his favourite books.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool.
It was an amazing experience, and it felt like we were walking into a Constable painting because the scenery was just so lovely.
Oh.
I've now got this image of you saying two guys in their 70s touring in a blanket backstage. Oh.
Sorry.
Well,
anyway.
The thing is, though, we're not old, Miles. We're awesome.
Well, anyway, so whilst you were in Braemar,
yes,
I was in Manchester. I was shooting a Man United game again and had a fucking brilliant time, basically.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I say I had a brilliant time. The game wasn't the best. It was a 1-1 home draw with Burnley. But Bob's about to get a photo up here, and for those watching on socials, we'll show this in the edit.
Yes.
So the opening goal for Man United was scored by Anthony. His first Premier League goal of the season, by the way.
And his first in 47 matches.
Unbelievable. Well, apart from the one against Liverpool. In fact, both times I've shot a game at Old Trafford, Anthony scored.
That's true.
I could be his good luck charm. Anyway, he celebrated.
This is such a good
he celebrated by holding up a Sonic the Hedgehog stuffed doll. Yes. And this all happened literally exactly in front of where I was shooting. I was just sat in front of the Stretford End. And all of the photos that have come out in press afterwards of him holding up this Sonic the Hedgehog doll have me in the background because you can see me smiling holding my camera.
Yes.
Which was fun. So
I was reading the newspaper on my iPad and I flicked across the page and suddenly went, that looks like Miles. Oh my God, it is Miles.
It was me. Yeah, I know. So funny. I've been tagged in it quite a few times online. But so what's cool now is as we're sitting here at this very moment, I've had the scans back from the film lab because for those of you that don't know, outside of this, I do a thing called Expired Film Club where I go and shoot sports games on 35mm film, lots of football stuff. And I've just had the scans back from the lab and there is a photo, again, Richard, our editor, will put this in hopefully. There's a photo of the exact moment where he's holding up the Sonic the Hedgehog toy,
there it is.
which I'm showing on my laptop right now.
Yeah.
That is the kind of reverse angle of all the shots that have come out on socials and in the press, which is fun. But no, it was a great experience. I got followed by a film crew. And actually, in a couple of days' time, I will be featured on a program on the Premier League channel internationally called Welcome to the Weekend.
Right.
Where they're doing a day in the life of me, basically following me around as a film photographer at Old Trafford, which was absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Got home and then basically went straight to Stansted.
Yep.
Because I then flew to Genoa in Italy. I'm wearing the shirt for those of you that
didn't bring me one back, by the way. Just saying.
I was only given one. That was the thing. Anyway, so I went to go shoot for Genoa FC in Serie A. Because they had this shirt I'm wearing is a special limited edition shirt that they released just for the game that they were wearing. And I went to go shoot that with my old cameras as well. I found an old camera. So Genoa are the oldest football club in Italy that still currently exists anyway. And I thought it would be really cool. What they wanted to do is to get me to the game because I shoot on really old cameras. I've got a camera that's like 120 years old that I shoot games on quite often. Yes. And they wanted me to go out and being the oldest club in Italy, shoot a game on film using a really old film camera from around the time that the club was founded. Yeah. So I got to Genoa on Sunday and had the whole day, and I thought, I wonder if I could find a camera locally that's, over 100 years old. And I did. I found one from an old man who lived in Genoa.
No, man, did he have a blanket?
Yeah, maybe he did, yeah. No, it's too warm in Genoa. And
was he in his 70s then, this old man?
And anyway, I went to go pick it up, and this camera is I've struggled actually to find out much about it online, but it's definitely at least 110 years old, and it still works. So I took it to the game, and I shot
almost as old as me, Miles.
I'll give up. Anyway, so yeah, it's all been good, and I know I go on about this on the podcast every time I've come back from a shoot, but my record remains. I've now shot since November. I've shot for 19 different teams or people or whatever.
Right.
Not one of them has lost.
19
in a row I'm on now.
Wow. Wow. And, Anthony getting a goal when you're there.
Yeah, both times. And those are the only 2 goals.
He scored in the
Oh, no, he did score in the cup, I think, in a away game against Newport or something, didn't he? But in terms of high-profile goals this season, I've been there for both of them. So, Anthony, you're welcome, my friend. And I've got photos of you celebrating each of them, because they both happen in almost the exact same spot of the pitch, to be fair. And I was sat in the same spot both times.
Well, you see, this is because you anticipate where, like, Miles puts himself usually behind the goal, don't you, to one side, anticipating if somebody scores, which way they're going to sort of wheel in celebration to.
Yeah, I try to.
And 9 times out of 10, they almost come straight at you.
The only one that was slightly annoying was I did the FA Cup final, Man United versus Coventry, and there were, obviously it was 3-3, and I think five of the goals were scored at the other end, which was quite annoying. I got the Bruno one, which was nice, and he came and celebrated in front of me there. But that's always just a guessing game. And to be fair, for those high-profile games, you kind of get assigned positions that you can't really move from. So that's kind of luck of the draw, really.
Yeah. And by the way, today is May Day. I mean, I know that you think, right, it's going out on... It is May Day. We are recording this literally hours before it's posted.
I know.
Because Miles and I have both only just come back from our various trips to Scotland and to Italy, we are recording this literally a few hours before it's posted. So this is May Day morning, and the sun is shining.
I know, it's nice today,
a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's good. So
we were thinking about doing it in the garden.
Yeah, we'll do an episode in the garden soon and do some of those goal recreations.
Exactly.
Let us know on socials, by the way. We posted the Paul Scholes goal recreation, and I'm going to try and recreate some famous goals in the garden at some point.
Yes.
Anyway, so 2009 to 2010 in the North London Universe, Bob.
Okay.
So coming off the back of a Champions League win and a runners-up finish in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I have to say, the summer transfer window is massive.
It's busy.
Right.
Oh, just one other thing before we get into this.
Yeah.
If you have been following us over and listening over the last 2 or 3 episodes, we started this little quiz that we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Where we're doing 5 strikers from the Premier League.
It doesn't have to be strikers, to be fair. We could do any...
It can be, it can.
Any player.
Just pick a player and how many goals did they score?
Yeah, just in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You're going to start us off then, Bob? Or I'll tell you what, let's go through the signings.
Okay.
And if there's anybody in there that catches your eye.
That's a very good. So is that the goals they scored for North London or the goals they scored?
No, in real life. I mean, we could access both, but I feel like you've got a bit of an upper hand if it's in North London.
Yeah, that's true.
So
inside information.
So one of the more surprising aspects of the transfer window is the players you're selling. Right. First of all, Whitehead is gone, which maybe isn't quite so surprising. An academy product who didn't really ever hit the
How much did he go for?
2.3 million.
Okay.
But 3 massive players have left.
Right.
First of all, Pepe, who only spent the season with the club, is out again, 20.2 million.
Yes.
Similarly, after 1 season, Andre Arshavin is out for 25.6 million. I assume that's probably because in real life he went to Arsenal, and so you had to sell him.
Yeah.
This is the big one for me, though. Kaká's gone.
Yes.
59 million. What brought that on?
I think he wanted to go to Real Madrid.
Okay.
It happened previously with Zidane. Zidane really wanted to go to Real Madrid.
Those pesky Real Madrid.
I know. And so I think with Zidane, I think it was a bit of a Cristiano Ronaldo situation where I persuaded him to give us one more season before he left. But it was always on the cards that he was going to go.
Yeah.
And when Kaká said he wanted to go, I mean, I always think that there's not a lot of point in keeping a player that doesn't want
to be there.
You let them go,
get the best out of them, I
and then
suppose,
you get the best price you can. And I know 59 million doesn't sound quite so much
in
now,
2009.
but in 2009 that was a lot of money. So
yeah. So that leaves a pretty hefty transfer budget of 172 million.
Okay.
With the Champions League and
just to explain, however deep I go into the Champions League,
it's like a pro rata thing.
Yes, that revenue feeds into the transfer kitty.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that's exclusive to the manager to use in whatever way he sees fit. And in those days, we didn't have, football, all the structure around a manager that's now becoming fashionable these days. I was the one who decided what we were going to do with that money.
Yeah.
And the deeper you go into the Champions League, so I think at that point, winning the Champions League as in prize money yielded 50 million. So that would go straight into the transfer kitty.
Yeah. But some also massive transfers in to replace these players. So we'll go by value. So we'll go for the lowest value ones first.
Okay.
Mats Hummels.
Okay,
Good
I
centre-back,
always thought Mats Hummels was a lovely player.
He must have been young here, I think. Because 2009...
Should have his age, actually, if you look.
Hold on. Going through the stats, blah, 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 blah. Where is it? I can't see his name.
Shall I look?
No, because it's going to give away who you're going to sign.
Oh, right. Okay.
Pause for a second whilst I figure out where he is. Oh, here we go. He's 20 at this point. So he is young.
Yeah, he is young.
So you've plucked him from presumably Dortmund, I guess, maybe at that point. I'm not sure. For 6.2 million.
Right.
Which I think is a good signing.
A bargain.
Next up, and I think this is one of your all-time favourite signings, Riquelme has come in.
Yes.
Now, Argentinian attacking midfielder, isn't he, Riquelme? Or wasn't he? A brilliant player.
Okay.
31 at this point he is. So you get him in the swan song of his career, I suppose, don't you?
Yes, but there was such a strong and good reason for this. At this point, he had been ignored, passed over by the
Argentinian squad,
national team.
Yeah.
And he was hurt and frustrated and angry. And when I sat down with him to talk about
where did you sit down with him, Bob?
I flew out
to Argentina. Well, would he have been at Villarreal at this point?
He would have been.
No, hang on. So I'm looking at his career now. No, in 2007 he moved back to Argentina to Boca Juniors. So he would have been at Boca Juniors.
I flew out there. I flew across time zones to sit down with him, and I said, listen, we are going to make you we're going to build this season around you.
Yeah.
I want you to come to us and show everybody what they're missing.
So he's coming in basically for a straight swap for Kaká, right?
Yes,
in that sort of
and I thought to myself, I know, absolutely 100% know that I can get the best out of him for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
He is going to be the fulcrum.
Yeah.
And he was. I mean, he dictated play almost pretty much from the second he walked out onto the pitch. Riquelme was my number one.
He's a real, I feel like he's a real football lover's player, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just the way he played the game.
Yeah.
Glorious
I
technique.
thought he was fabulous.
I'm just on his Wikipedia, actually. He's now president of Boca Juniors.
Is he?
So proper Boca Juniors legend. He started his career there and then went to Barcelona for a little bit, then Villarreal, and then back to Boca Juniors, and then
to North London.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
But it says he was born he's the eldest of 11 children.
Yeah.
From a poor family, and he was born one day before Argentina won the 1978 World Cup.
There you go.
How about that? I think
Yeah.
that's a nice, interesting fact.
Yeah.
So anyway, Riquelme's in.
Yes.
You've got another attacking midfielder,
Okay.
much younger though. And again, I think you've pipped a lot of big teams to the post in real life with this, because Mesut Özil has joined the club for 9.1 million, 20 years old back in 2009.
So you see, what I do is my scouting system is that I scan the internet and I look for players, I read. I mean, The Athletic is a great place to read.
By the way,
football
have you
these
seen
days.
Mesut Özil these days?
No, I haven't.
He is fucking jacked. He's huge. He's like a massive bodybuilder now.
No.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Have you got any photos?
I'm going to look at him now. I might be making this up. Fernando Torres has definitely bulked up. But
Has he?
I'm sure Mesut Özil is like a big boy now. There he is, look.
Oh, my goodness.
He's got massive tattoos down his arm. I know, he's a proper gym lad.
Now.
Look
what
at him.
Oh, wow.
I know.
He's huge.
Because he was not that when he played. He was like skinny and sort of stringy, wasn't he?
Well, the thing is, I had him for 2 or 3 seasons. And the thing about Mesut Özil was that in terms of natural talent, there have been few players as brilliant as him.
Oh, I loved him as a player.
But 2 things. First of all, application, because there were times when he just didn't seem particularly interested. But the other thing was actually, Miles, that as a player, he could quite easily be knocked off the ball by
that's why it's such a surprise seeing him now. He's huge.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in real life, at this point, he would have just joined Werder Bremen from Schalke. At this point, so he's not yet gone to Real Madrid.
No, but I got him
20 years old, so you've got in there. 9.1 million, a lovely signing. So I imagine him and Riquelme, when Riquelme needs a bit of a rest because he's getting a bit older, Mesut Özil will slot in there beautifully. The biggest transfer, though, in terms of value by quite a lot, another midfielder, Yaya Toure has joined the club.
Yaya Toure.
That is a big old signing.
Yes.
I think you make a case for him possibly being one of the best midfielders in his prime.
He was just
in the Premier
powerful,
League.
wasn't he? Just powerful. And, when you've got that degree of skill.
Yeah, again, Bob, you've beaten, this is before he joined Manchester City because he's still at Barcelona at this point. So you're making some signings before they really became big. This is, I'm impressed by your scouting network.
I keep telling you, I taught Pep Guardiola all he knows.
Yeah, Toure. Okay, well, Bob, so considering the signings, how about, for our first Premier League goals quiz of the day, Mesut Özil.
Okay.
When he played for Arsenal. So for those listening who don't yet know how this works, basically one of us picks a player.
Yes.
And we have to guess exactly how many goals they scored just in the Premier League. The closest gets 1 point and wins. If you get it bang on, you get 3 points. And it's the best of 5. And we'll see at the end of the episode who's got the most points.
Am I going first?
So I guess whoever chooses doesn't go first. So you go for it. You guess. How many goals did Mesut Özil score in the Premier League for Arsenal, do you think?
He scored a shed load of
North London.
With North London. Yes, he did. I'm tempted to look because that's so relevant to the...
as in how many goals he scored for North London?
Just have a look quick.
I can tell you how many... Well,
he got this season.
We're looking forward. These are just appearances. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at the end. But in the meantime, how many... Let's see, Mesut Özil. He got 3 in the Premier League. So it's a very fledgling season for him.
I'm going to go for 48.
Okay, for Arsenal. Mesut Özil.
And North London.
You think he scored the exact same for North London and for Arsenal?
Yeah, 48 in total.
Right. Premier League goals, Mesut Özil. He didn't score loads. He scored some lovely goals. He created more than he scored, I think. I'm going to say 34.
Okay.
Is where I'm going to go with this.
Look him up then, Miles.
Let's have a look. Hang on, let's go into the Premier League. Here we go. Mesut Özil scored 33! I was
you're one off.
That's the third time that's happened where I've got one off.
Yeah.
That is mad.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so that... All right, we'll make that 1-0 to me, as things stand.
In rounds, Miles is currently leading 2-0.
That's true.
So this is...
So anyway, transfer window done. Before we get into the episode, I have to say that there's a couple of big additions in the January transfer window this year as well, but we will come to that next episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
By the way, if you're listening, we are now putting the episodes out on YouTube as well. So please do go ahead and subscribe to us over there because you can see us in all our glory. You can see our gorgeous faces in the...
Speak for yourself,
in the North London... Bob's got his blanket draped around his shoulders right now as we're recording. All right, anyway. Okay, well, it seems we're being beckoned down the tunnel for a half-time break, Bob. Should we hear from our sponsors?
No, wait, there's probably another minute of extra time to go. There was the injury to David Bennett.
I think maybe we should cut to the break.
Okay, right.
Pre-season, Bob. The Mediterranean Cup, of course, is how we open pre-season. It's a 4-team group. You've got Deportivo La Coruña, you've got Juventus and Porto.
Okay.
So, first game is against Deportivo. You win 3-1.
Mm-hmm. This, by the way, These matches take place at the North London Mediterranean Training Centre, which is situated in Portugal.
Yes.
Where, there's a big area not far from Faro where they have all the sports clubs and the golf clubs and huge areas of sporting activity. Right in the centre, that's where we have our hotel and our warm weather training facility. It's got a little stadium, little mini stadium, and if you want to, you can buy a stay at the hotel with certain privileges, which allow you to go and watch training from time to time, open training, and watch matches that take place. And the big little sort of mini tournament that takes place there is the Mediterranean Cup.
The pre-season tournament. Yeah. There you go. So that's where we are now. 3-1 win in the first game, but then 2 draws. 0-0 at Juventus, 1-1 at Porto. So it means that Juventus actually win the Mediterranean Cup, Bob, because they finish above you in the table.
Wow.
So no pre-season silverware, but I don't think that's a real marker of how the season's going to go.
No. It's an opportunity anyway for me to...
You can field some of the new
to have a look at some of the formations.
So Toklov scored 2 goals in 3 games, carrying on from his good form last year. So
that's good.
Like he's showing a bit. Community Shield before the Premier League season starts against Man United, and you do win this 2-1. Torres and Villa, that magical Spanish strike partnership, gives you the win. So you have got the Community Shield in the trophy cabinet before the season starts.
Which is always good. I always think it's good to have a trophy straight away, beginning of the season. It's a good signpost.
Exactly. So, into the Premier League, Bob.
Okay.
First game of the season is at home against Burnley.
Yes.
And it's a 5-0 win. A fantastic way to start the season. A double for Torres. Freddie Haynes from centre-back. David Villa. And Toklov off the bench gets himself another goal.
Okay.
And the only note for this game is a fantastic debut by Riquelme, who runs the game.
Of course.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Things are looking up.
Yeah.
So the formation in this one is a 4-2-3-1.
Yes.
Yaya Toure sitting in alongside Weber, who had such a good season last time.
Yep.
And then Ribery, Riquelme, and you're playing David Villa from the left-hand side in this with Torres up front.
Yeah, because he did move
He could
to the
do
left.
that, I think he did that for Barca and Spain a bit, didn't he?
Yeah. And you see, I'm coming back to my absolute favourite formation.
4-2-3-1.
An attacking. I see 4-2-3-1 as being an attacking formation because you've got players to cover. There's never a big gap opening up.
I think 4-2-3-1 is my favourite formation to use as well.
Because if it allows one of the centre-backs or one of the holding midfield players to attack where you still got cover that closes that gap and squeezes the opposition while the centre midfielder or the centre-back is attacking.
I think this is what ideally United are wanting to do with the 4-2-3-1, isn't it, really?
Yeah. They just... Eric Ten Hag just needs to sit down with me.
All right, if he goes into the season, Bob, you're in with a shout. I wonder what the bookies would give your odds. They probably wouldn't take bets on it. Well, maybe they would because it's free money. Imagine if you got hired as the Man United manager, Bob. Would you want that job?
Well... it would be good fun. It would be amazing, wouldn't it? So long as you didn't take it too seriously.
To say that you'd done it.
Yeah.
I could
even for a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
The pressure, though. Could you imagine the pressure and the stress and oh god.
I think those sort of things, though, are kind of what you make them.
That's true. Yeah. If you allow yourself to get distracted by it and affected by it.
See, I still maintain, although the India tour was not great, but Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum as a combination in the cricket world, their idea was, right, we're just going to walk towards the fire, we're going to attack, we're going to take results out of the equation. I know that's very difficult to say, but that's what they did. So we're just going to play and we're just going to enjoy it and we're just going to express ourselves and we're just going to have a great time. Yeah. And if that leads to winning, which most of the time we think it will, then we're pressing all the buttons and we're transforming Test cricket, which is what they've begun to do. So this is what I would bring to Manchester
Style
United.
over results. It's a funny, conundrum, isn't it? It's
attack over results, put it that way.
I suppose so, yeah. I'd like to
attack. Yeah, which is the philosophy with North.
Attack. Yes. And speaking of which, away at Liverpool. 2-0 win.
Yes.
Fernando Torres, Frank Ribery.
Our results against Liverpool.
You always win at Anfield.
Traditionally good. Yeah.
How great is it that they've bottled everything this year? Oh, I love it so much. I love it.
Colin is
yeah. Anyway. Following game against Birmingham away from home is a 1-1 draw. Frank Ribery with the...
They are currently in danger of going down to
could get
the
relegated,
first
couldn't they? Yeah, I know.
Could. What a disaster. They were 6th when Wayne Rooney came in.
I know. That's that proved to be a really bad decision, that, didn't it? Anyway, fourth game in the league, 3-0 home win against Sunderland. It says here in the notes, a disjointed first half performance, missed 5 clear chances, play well after break. Riquelme scores his first for the club.
That's it.
Along with Freddie Haynes and Ribery, he's got 3 and 3 now.
Yeah.
But the team is looking to be quite settled now.
It's a nice team.
It's a nice balance. So the following game is against Chelsea, but big game this.
Yeah.
Big game against Chelsea. And it actually proved to be an incredible game. It finishes 3-2 to North London.
Right.
David Villa in the 82nd and Riquelme in the 90th win it. Riquelme got 2. So this, I think, is your first choice 11 right now.
Okay,
looking at the way things are. So I'm in
you're
goal.
Still in goal,
of course. Douglas Booker, right back.
Who's now the manager.
Douglas Booker is my oldest mate from school.
Yeah.
David Bennett at left back.
Yes.
Who is...
attacking. Well, he was
Who is he in real life?
Yeah, he was in our academy actually.
He played with Dylan at school.
But he played with Dylan.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you've got Andrade.
Dylan being Miles's brother.
That's right. Andrade and Freddie Haynes at centre back. Freddie Haynes, another of Dylan's school teammates.
Yeah.
Yaya Toure and Webber in midfield. And this is Jake Webber, who's the son of a very
Roy
close friend of
Webber,
ours.
who used to be the lead singer of the band Wally. That I produced in the 70s.
And his son obviously played for North
co-produced
London.
their records with Rick Wakeman.
There you go.
And Roy wanted to call Jake Red, because they're all big Man United fans. Can you imagine that? What a name. Red Webber.
Yeah.
It's a glamorous name, isn't it?
It is. And then across midfield, Ribery on the right, Villa on the left, Riquelme in behind Torres.
Yes,
Brilliant.
Riquelme.
And then on the bench, you've got Barnard, you've got Hoffland, you've got Bedwell, you've got Giax, you've got Özil, Toklov, and my brother Dylan.
Can you imagine when I'm meeting Riquelme at the end of a match on the touchline?
Yeah.
I'm just going up to him and I'm going, yes, just do this all season.
Yeah.
We're going to win the league.
Yeah. And it seems to be working by the looks of it. So
have we got 5 successive wins at the start of the...
There was a draw in there against Birmingham, wasn't there? So
no. Yeah.
But another win against Bolton away.
Okay.
Fernando Torres.
Yeah.
Big game then at home against Man United. Riquelme puts you into the lead. Michael Carrick equalises. 86th minute, Fernando Torres scores the winner, and it's a 2-1 win. So great form at the start of this season. The following game is actually a bit of a blow because you were 2-1 up until the 89th minute when Everton get an equaliser and draw 2-2. So the table on the 20th of October 2009 has Chelsea in first with 24 points.
Okay.
Man United in second with 22. You're back in third on 20, but you have 2 games in hand.
So now that must be to do with Europe.
So yeah, let's venture into that. So talk us through, Bob, the group stage then. Who's in North London's group for this season's Champions League?
Inter Milan, Dinamo Kiev, and Rubin Kazan.
Okay.
So
Inter at this point, would Adriano have still been there? Honestly, if there's one player ever that I wished really could have pushed on and become... I mean, he had a good career anyway, but Adriano, I just loved him. He was at North London for a bit, wasn't he? So maybe actually this is just after his prime. Anyway.
So we're away in the first group stage game against Inter, and it's our 200th European game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the settled side, I think.
Yeah.
And if you notice, Miles, on this 1 to 11, because I'm quite big on 1 to 11.
Bob's a proper stickler.
As much as possible. I like the old school numbers. I don't like these 77s or 99s.
One thing I will say about United is that we still have generally avoided that, haven't we? If you look at our squad even now, we don't have... Kobe Mainoo's probably the one, but that's just because that 37 was his squad number at the start of the year because he was coming through the academy, which I quite like. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, and McTominay, 39 as well.
Yeah, but again, I think he's just always been that because he came, maybe just never changed it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you've got number 1 on your back.
Of course, guys, of course.
Then
the world's best goalkeeper.
And then across the back 4, Dougie Booker, number 2. Andrade had 6 on his back.
Yeah.
Freddie Haynes was 4.
Yeah.
And David Bennett was 3.
There you go.
So there you are. You've got the old... Then in front of them, Yaya Toure was 5.
5? That's an interesting number.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jake Webber was 21.
Yeah.
Then the 3, the sort of attacking 3 behind Torres, who was number 9.
Yeah.
Ribery, number 7,
Yeah.
Riquelme, number 10,
Yeah.
and Dylan, who was 15,
Yeah.
and then Torres, who was 9.
Yes.
So that was the lineup.
Yep.
But it wasn't a particularly. It was a 0-0 draw, and sometimes I would literally set the team up to defend and not. Really, I'd say to them.
So this is going against your philosophy you're saying now, though, Bob. Attack at all costs.
Yes, but there were occasionally moments where I thought this is a good opportunity
to just get a
for
point.
us to sit back and feel what it feels like to defend and how good are we at that.
Okay.
So I would literally say to the team, I want you to not attack the way we always do.
That's interesting.
Let's just sit back, let the team, and see how efficiently we absorb the pressure.
Well.
And that's what I did with this match against Inter.
And it was 0-0.
And it was 0-0.
Well, there you go then. So it kind of worked, I suppose.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
The problem was that when I came home for the next match against Dinamo Kiev, another 0-0 draw.
Oh.
So exactly the same team,
Yeah.
but another 0-0 draw.
Well then.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then so going to the third game before we go back to the league then to see what's going on there.
Well, now we kick in.
Okay.
5-0.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, this is against Rubin Kazan, is it?
Yes.
Rubin Kazan are from, is it Russia?
Look him up.
Okay.
Sam Toklov scored in the 2nd minute, the 29th minute.
Toklov is a good, Russian.
And the
good,
80
consistent goal scorer for you. Isn't he?
second
Did he get a
minute,
hat trick?
So he got a hat trick.
Wow.
Ribery on 45 minutes, and Torre must have been his first
Torre.
goal for the club. Scored on 56 minutes.
There you go, so 3-0.
And he'd come on as a substitute actually for Jake Webber at half time.
Okay.
So,
in defensive mid. Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
So 2 draws and a win. It's just about okay, isn't it?
Yes, and then the return match with Rubin Kazan.
Let's hold that thought.
Okay.
We'll come back to that as the episode goes on.
Right.
Because
we've got a massive game coming up with the return against Inter Milan.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've written a very, very comprehensive summary.
Stay tuned for that in that case, folks.
Yeah.
Because we'll go back to the league in sort of chronological order.
Yes.
It's another 0-0. There's been quite a few of these for you recently. Against West Ham away.
Okay.
But then Spurs at home, a 4-0 win. Lovely stuff. Riquelme, David Villa with 2, my brother Dylan with a goal. And then another win at home against Wolves, 2-0, an own goal in the 17th minute, and Riquelme in the 19th.
Shall I tell you how the own goals work?
Right, so the way the games are played is Bob kicks a phone football around the house and imagines he's the players, okay? We've got the phone football on the desk in front of us right now.
You can
there it is.
fancy. There it is.
So you're kicking the ball around, you're imagining your players.
Yeah.
How does an own goal actually happen then?
So I'm coming out of the sitting room.
Yep.
So I'm attacking into the number 10 position.
Yeah, okay.
And I shoot from what's the equivalent of about 25 yards.
Does it just take a deflection then or something on the way through or what?
Exactly.
Okay. Oh,
it takes a deflection off the wall, or a deflection off the other wall, and if clearly it would have wrong-footed the goalkeeper, then it's an own goal.
Okay. Oh, well, that does make sense. I thought it was
does.
something a bit more like outlandish, but that's perfectly feasible, I think.
No, there's a logic to all of this, Miles.
Very good, very good. So the own goal and the Riquelme goal with a 2-0 win against Wolves.
Yes.
So the table
Right.
is interesting reading. So
Okay.
Chelsea are still top. They've played 12 games, 30 points.
Right.
You are second with 27 points, but you do have a game in hand. And they've got a goal difference that's 2 better than yours.
Okay.
Arsenal then 2 points back from you. They've also got a game in hand over Chelsea, so they're on 25. And Man United are on 25, but they've played the 12 games, if that makes any sense. So if you win by 3 goals in the next game, or with your game in hand, you go top.
Right. Okay.
This is on the 21st of November.
right.
So if we'll go through to the end of the calendar year in the league, and then we'll visit the Champions League, shall we?
Okay.
So Hull City away.
Right. Now we should be winning this.
Yeah, you should. Okay, and actually, let's do a Premier League goals quiz here, Bob.
Okay.
It's your turn to choose, isn't it? Can you think of anybody that's played for Hull City over the years that might be an interesting one to whack in there?
Who's the guy who's on Soccer AM these days?
Dean Windass.
No, Dean Windass. Oh, bless him.
I liked Windass.
Yes.
He's on Soccer M. You mean Jimmy Bullard?
Yes.
Jimmy Bullard. Yeah, that's a good shout. Okay.
He's a good shout, isn't he?
I like Jimmy Bullard.
Yeah.
Go on then. So me
go,
guessing first,
you go.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Not a lot, I'm going to say. He also played for Fulham.
Yeah.
And he played for Wigan, I think. Hull City. He scored a few. He took free kicks. 19, I'm going to say.
Okay. I'm going to say 27.
Okie dokie. Jimmy Bullard. I actually really like Jimmy Bullard. I think he's hilarious. Jimmy Bullard scored 15.
Oh.
So I was close again. I was 4 off. So that makes it 2-0. Thank you very much. Jimmy Bullard.
I've decided now.
You overestimate it.
You're really good at this and I'm rubbish.
No, I don't, you're never that far off.
No,
really.
but every single time, I think, with one exception, you've gone lower than me. So, yeah, I have to learn this tactic.
Anyway, Hull City, Jimmy Bullard did not score in this game because North London get a very late 1-0 win.
Okay.
Mesut Özil scores his first of the club.
Okay.
In the 86th minute, it says, performance begins brilliantly but gets more wayward as the game goes on.
I wonder why that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, away at Hull. Maybe it was a cold, rainy night in Hull.
Yeah. A snowy, cold night in Braemar.
Yeah. Then home against
was I wearing a blanket on the touchline?
Yeah, maybe you were. Yeah. Yeah. Then home against Portsmouth. It's another 1-0 win. Giax, the Swiss midfielder, who started for the first time in quite a while on the right side.
He was a good squad play. You know.
He actually starts the next game too.
Right.
Against Blackburn away. And it's a 2-0 win. Toklov and Özil. So you've actually been resting players a little bit more in these past couple of games.
Yeah.
It means that you're now level on points with Chelsea at the top with a game in hand. So they must have lost a game somewhere in there.
Yes.
So they've played 15 and got 36 points. You've played 14 and got 36 points. They've got a 4 better goal difference than you at this stage. But if you even draw the next game, you will be top of the league. The next game is looks like a bit of a classic, actually. It's against Arsenal.
Okay.
And I'm conscious that we should do some more of these Premier League goals quiz games before the end of the. I'm going to try and get a comprehensive 3-0 victory, and I'm going to choose an Arsenal player.
Okay.
From around this time, so let's say 2009.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, who would have been there about this sort of time that would be interesting to have in this quiz? What about somebody like Gilberto Silva? Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say I'm going to say Gilberto Silva.
Go on then. I'm going to go 12.
Okay. That actually sounds pretty realistic, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. 12.
What do you...
Gilberto Silva. He was at Arsenal for quite a while, but he did play a holding midfield role, didn't he?
Yes.
Well,
I'm going to be so cross if you get this wrong.
I'm going to say he scored 8. Yeah?
Go on then.
Ready?
Yeah.
Gilberto Silva. 17.
Yes.
So Bob claims a point.
I pull one back.
Okay.
From the edge of the precipice, I just stepped a step back.
To be fair, in 2006, 2007, I didn't realise he scored 10 goals in the league.
Wow.
That's a rogue stat. I would never have guessed that.
No.
He got other seasons. He got 0, 4, 0, 2, and 1, and then randomly in 06, 07, he got 10 goals in the league.
Strange?
That's wow.
Yeah,
that is mad. Okay, well there you go. 2-1. Bob.
So you've 2 more to go.
Claimed a point back.
Yeah.
He might have scored in this game. It doesn't. You don't actually say who the Arsenal scorers were in this, but it's a huge game. It finishes 3-3 at Highbury, I guess it still would have been at this point.
Yes.
Riquelme with a double.
Yeah.
And Andrade from a corner kick says, Torres and Ribery returned from injury, which hence that's probably why Giax has been playing the last few games. It does say it ends a run of 6 Premiership clean sheets, though.
Oh.
So, anyway, first goal was conceded in a little while. You're then at home against Wigan.
Okay.
And it's a 2-1 win.
Right.
Weber and Ribery in the 87th minute. So it's another late winner. And then
I love late winners.
Yeah, I know. The best. Well, being in the stadium for the Amad Diallo winner against Liverpool.
Yes.
Anyway, one of the best feelings of my entire life.
Yep.
North London at home against Fulham in the final game of 2009.
Okay.
Freddie Haynes, an own goal, and Torres make it a 3-0 home win. Now, this is really interesting because Chelsea are 2 points ahead of you, but you've now got 3 games in hand. I don't know how this has happened.
It's probably that I just haven't had a chance to play them.
Your actual life's been too busy.
Too busy, yes.
Okay.
Or we've been away, or something's happened.
Sheer unprofessionalism, I think, there, Bob. It's just not acceptable.
Yeah.
North London comes first. I'm sorry. Anyway, but so you're 2 points back, but you've got 3 games in hand. So you're actually in a very good position at the end of 2009. That's where we are. So let's flip over to the Champions League, Bob.
Okay, because
the second half of the group stage here.
We complete the group stage here, don't we?
Yes.
So Ruben Kazan, Sam Toklov gets the only goal.
Oh, wow.
So we win 1-0 away from home.
Okay. In Russia, to be fair, it would have been a difficult atmosphere.
Yeah. And now this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because Hofland's come in at centre-back to partner with Freddie Haynes.
Yes.
And Hummels is playing in a holding midfield role.
Well, it's funny because I suppose at this point he's 20 when you signed him, isn't he? So I do think he probably had the capacity to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But just as time went on, people saw him more as a centre-back. But interesting.
Yeah.
He's in defensive mid then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the bench is interesting too, Miles.
Yep.
Because Mark Barnard...
This is one of our, well, actually, one of my brother and sister's schoolmates' dad.
Yes.
Who is the sub-keeper.
Yes. Yes. And actually takes over from you ultimately.
When I retire?
Yes.
Well, it's not for a while yet in the Game of No Halves.
So Andrade's gone onto the bench. Bedwell, number 18, is there on the bench. Özil, number 25.
Yep.
Ian Giggs. Quaresma.
Oh, yeah.
Portuguese player, wasn't he?
He's not played a lot, really, has he? Because he signed last year, but hasn't featured loads.
I've obviously done a bit of a typo here, look, because I've got Ian Giggs on the bench twice.
Wow. Ryan Giggs' twin brother and then his other twin brother.
Yes. They both got the number 11 shirt. They must have had a fight over that.
Wow.
So
some cloning going on behind the scenes at North London, possibly.
Yes. So then...
I love it, Ian Giggs. He's inevitable, isn't he? He just appears everywhere. He's so like all over the place that he's in this squad twice. Anyway.
But then we have Inter Milan at home.
Okay. And so
what a match this turned out to be.
This must be quite an important game because you drew the first 2 games in the group stage, didn't you?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
They take the lead on the 34th minute, and it's into the 70th minute, and they're still 1-0 up.
Right.
Play very poorly for first 55 minutes, I say. But game gradually comes together, and 2 Toklov goals in 2 minutes, midway through the second half, changed the game.
Nice.
So Sam Toklov scored in the 74th and 76th
You know what?
minute.
Sam Toklov is proving to be a very important player in the squad, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Riquelme, 87th minute, then just to wrap it up, David Villa, a couple of minutes into stoppage time.
So 4-1.
4-1 was the final score. Yeah.
What a result. So that leaves the group stage.
Well, we've got one more
game.
match to play, and it's a defeat against Dynamo Kiev.
Oh, right.
3-1.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought the Inter game was the last game of the group, but
no.
Okay, that could be quite damaging.
Yeah, so they take the lead.
Yeah.
Then we equalise with Weber on 44 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's how it stays. But they get 2 late goals. 84th and 90th
Oh, no,
minute.
that's a disaster.
Yeah. And
You must have been pushing for the win, probably, and just got caught on the break.
Well, also, I've rested players, clearly.
Right.
Because Bedwell's come in at right back.
Yeah.
Hofland... Simon Astor.
Simon Astor's in. At centre-back.
At centre-back.
Yes, Si listens to the podcast, so I'm glad you... Although, having said that, you've come into the team and contributed to a 3-1 loss.
And Drenthe.
That's a week.
Mark Barnard in goal. So it's an entirely different back four.
It is. No, that's not...
Hummels... and Weber are the 2 holding midfield players. Quaresma on the right wing. Özil and Ian Giggs.
Right.
All of them behind Ben Granville.
Yes, Ben. This is one of my best mates from school as well.
Absolutely, one of Miles' really best friends.
Oh, Ben Granville up front.
Yeah,
he didn't score.
No, Weber.
Okay. Well, there you go. So Si and Ben both in the team.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So it's a loss. So how did the league table finish?
Well, we still finished top.
Oh, right. Maybe you'd already secured top spot and it didn't matter what happened.
That's probably what's happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So we got 11 points. Dynamo Kiev got...
Wow. So 9. They went through over
Inter Milan.
Oh, my goodness.
On goal difference, look.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then Ruben Kazan.
Yeah,
well,
2 points.
they
Well, there you go.
they conceded 10 goals away from home. So that sets us up
okay. So
for a last 16 against Stuttgart.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Stuttgart. Well, there you go. So we'll find out all about that next episode. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And so in the league, obviously, we're getting to the January transfer window, and we'll come to...
Can you imagine, by the way, if we have people joining us all the time, Miles, don't we? And
Yeah.
So if you have just joined us and this is your first episode of A Game of No Halves,
Yes.
these are literally matches that I play. All of these games, I play them round the house with a football, kicking the football around, making all the stats, making all the notes.
Yes.
So that's what these are. These are actual, real games that I play.
That genuinely did take place. It's
yes.
the most mental thing.
Yes.
So we need to conclude our Premier League goals quiz, Bob, because it's 2-1 to me, obviously, right now.
Yeah.
So
let's have somebody more up to date, shall we?
go on, you choose. Your turn.
Oh gosh, who shall we have? Then, in that case,
It could be as long as they've made a Premier League appearance at some point. It can be anybody.
who's the wonderful number 8 that's currently playing for Arsenal?
Odegaard.
I think he's a fantastic player.
All right.
Really, I do.
That's an interesting
you've
one.
got to.
So I'll go. Okay.
You go for it.
Okay. Oh, this is tough, you know. I think it's going to be fairly like low, but not. Oh, yeah. I'm going to give this some thought. I think it's going to be around the 30 mark. 29. I'm going to go.
Okay. Well, I'm just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Going to go 24.
24. Okay, fine.
Yeah. So for once, I'm going lower than you.
Martin Odegaard has scored 31. He scored. Victory
And
the
you were
third
one
week in a
away
row.
again.
Well, I was 2 away.
You were 1 year out, as Ken Bruce.
Oh, well, no, I was 2. I said 29. But I said it would be around 30. I mean, I've got good guesstimation skills.
You have, Miles.
So
What a player he is, though, isn't he?
I love him. And actually, this is a youngster who... Do you remember when he went to Real Madrid when he was 16? And there was so much hype. And he's one of the few that have I think, lived up to their potential.
Yes.
Because he's Arsenal captain. He's still only, 24 or something like that, is he? 25.
He's fabulous.
So
I think he can control games.
Yeah.
He really can.
So it makes...
so skillful. And he
passing.
sees that pass that slices
by the
through
way,
the defence.
Have you seen Real Madrid's goal last night? The one where Toni Kroos plays this ball to Vinicius, who finishes it off. The pass. I know you're a passing man, Bob.
I am.
It's a brilliant through ball by Toni Kroos. What he does, you see the replays. He's got it kind of fairly close to the halfway line in the centre of the pitch, and you can see him. Vinicius is making this run towards the edge of the Bayern area, right?
Yes.
And you can see Toni Kroos with his right hand just points to the right. And Vinicius sees it, bends his run, and Kroos plays this amazing ball, splits the defence, and Vinicius just passes it into the net first time. It's amazing.
You see, the thing is, as we'll get to eventually, but I signed Toni Kroos.
Oh yeah, did you?
It just didn't work out.
Oh really?
It's weird, sometimes.
He's been a brilliant player. I think actually quite underrated in it.
Yeah, and I let him go to Real Madrid as well.
Interesting.
Because he wanted to go, and he actually wasn't playing that well for me. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. So, well, before we go, finally,
what we were doing last night, by the way,
yes.
My great friend Kimmy Rhodes is over from Austin, Texas. Kimmy is a great, great country music star.
Yeah.
She's one of Willie Nelson's best friends. And we got a fire going in the sitting room.
Yeah.
And Kimmy made this absolutely fantastic potato soup.
Very nice.
Oh, it was so delicious. So we were playing music and swapping tracks and stuff. I played in the new Casey Musgraves album and introduced her to Ashley McBride because she didn't know Ashley McBride's music. And so that's what we were doing. That's why I didn't see Real Madrid.
There you go. We have to catch up with the highlights.
Yes, I'm going to catch up with the highlights.
Yeah, so before we leave you all, we've got one final Premier League goals quiz to play out. Obviously, it's a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Formality, because I have claimed victory already, but I'll give you a chance to get a redemption point here, Bob.
This would make it 3-0 to you then, Miles.
It does. So it's my turn to choose. So let's think. Let's should we stick in recent times and see?
Yeah.
I want to think of somebody that's a bit interesting, though. Let's think. Who Who's playing in the Premier League right now who's doing well? Let's say, well, what about Ollie Watkins for Villa? Because he's having a fabulous season.
Yes,
but how many Premier League goals has he scored altogether? So you...
Whoa. 78.
Okay. I'm gonna go lower again. But so he's got almost, it must be around about 20 this year, hasn't he? I'm gonna go 58.
Okay.
Yeah. Ollie Watkins. He has scored 59. I was one up again, Bob. Oh my God.
This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible.
How did I? Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Well, there we are then.
Well,
Miles.
Was it 4-1 in the end this week? So that
have you been doing research?
No,
have you been quietly doing research
I swear
and throwing these names, knowing?
I swear I haven't. That's pretty
incredible.
Good
yeah, it is.
Wow, 59 goals. He's doing well.
I would have said it was more than that, but there you go.
He must be, because I think Gabby Agbonlahor is Aston Villa's all-time leading Premier League goal scorer.
And he's got about 101 or something.
He must be close behind now, I think.
Yeah, Gabby.
He's got 74.
Oh, God.
So
I'm hopeless at this. I've decided I'm really rubbish at this.
Anyway, so 74 goals for Gabby, and what was it? 59, wasn't it, for Ollie Watkins? So he's closing in. Anyway, fabulous. So 3-0 in the Premier League goals quiz. Let us know how you did, and please on socials suggest us some players.
4-1 it was actually, Miles, wasn't it?
No, but I'm 3-0 up.
Oh, 3-0 up. Yeah, you are.
In terms of the scores. Sorry. On socials, please.
I'm going to just put that blanket over my head.
If you follow us on socials, if you're not following us on socials, please do at A Game of No Halves, and suggest us on there some players that we should play the Premier League goals quiz with.
Yes,
I
good
think,
plan.
Just any player that's ever played in the Premier League. They can be as rogue as you like, and we'll guess how many Premier League goals they've got.
I'm going to do shed loads of research.
Go for it, Bob. Yeah, okay. You do that. What's great about this is because there are so many players, you can't really do that much research.
No, you can't.
Unless you cheat.
It's a bit like being on Pointless.
Yeah.
Seriously, because I've been on Pointless a few times. You can't research because the topics are so random.
Yeah. What I'd like to do, Bob, okay, we'll record an episode after this.
Yes.
And I'm going to propose that we play some football pointless, because there's a great TikTok account that literally posts football pointless questions.
Yeah.
So we'll make that a special episode that you can catch at some point in the meantime.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like I say, follow us on socials, suggest us some players to play in the Premier League goals quiz. Anything else you'd like to see or hear in the episodes, please do that. If you're listening on streaming services, please rate us 5 stars and subscribe if you're enjoying. And we will join you next time. And I've got to say, the first thing we'll be hearing about next episode is the January transfer window in 2009-2010. And there are some interesting signings coming out.
Very good.
So stay tuned for that. Bob, any parting words?
No, except if you pass me that blanket.
How long before this is going to die out? All right. Well, very good. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Thanks very much
Bob,
for listening.
See you next week. Thanks for listening. See you guys.
Love and peace.
Bye.